Hey, welcome back to Rust Order Garage. I am back on my 56 Chevy pickup, $5,000 budget. And I am dying to start this engine. I'd really like to fire it up, but I can't yet. I have some things I have to get done before the weather gets too cold. And that means paint. So, what do we got? Well, we got some of this. So it's time to have some fun. I love spraying metal flake. Purple's kind of a stretch, but I think it'll be pretty cool. And it's only paint, so if I don't like it, you take it off. It's only a few things getting painted, and it's pretty much the dash and the door side panels. And I like to do different things, if you haven't figured by now. This is probably the most, or one of the most mainstream vehicles I own. Okay, most of the stuff I own is not very common. But yeah, we'll get into more of that later. But anyway, I have to get this dash painted next couple days. It's going to be nice. So I think it's time to get it done. So let's see where the dash is right now and what I'm going to do. And here's a receipt for this stuff so I can add it to the list. I actually bought this. This was for the 55 Buick. I didn't buy it for this truck. I was going to spray the dash in that car, and I just never did. I may still go back someday, but probably not. This was, wow, more than I thought. About $25 I spent for this. But I buy large enough quantity that I can do more than one car with it. So after you add in shipping and taxes and everything else, yeah, it was 25 bucks. So I will add that to the budget. I'm hoping this doesn't say what this is. I think this is 15 thousandths. I like heavier flake. It looks like 15, so it should look pretty cool. All right, so here's the plan, and here's where I am right now. So the dash is pretty much stock. I'm going to switch to a newer headlight switch, and I already had to open up that hole just a little bit for the switch I'm going to use. I'm going to put the old choke cable here to fill that hole. This toggle switch, I'm going to move over here. Reason being, I don't want to do any body work on this bottom section of the dash. I could easily fill these holes and weld them up, and then I got to paint it, and I don't want to. I'm going to leave this patina just like it is, and I'm going to flake the bottom. The top, I don't know. Should I flake the top? They've got these holes drilled in it, so I've got to fill those holes for sure. And I was going to respray that black and then put the purple right over it. But now I'm wondering maybe I should just keep the top black and just put the flake over the gray section. Same with the door panels. They're going to get flaked. I got to think about that for a little bit. But for now, I'm just going to remove the remaining switches I have there and the block offs for the radio. And this is old throttle cable. That won't be used, but I'll leave it. This is for the wipers. So that switch actually works. So I'll keep that, and I'll keep these block offs, but I'm going to take them out so I can paint. This is probably going to move. These are for the vents. The vents are stuck. I'm going to fix that, but I think I'm going to put an under dash AC unit in this thing. It's not going to be like a vintage air. That's not in the budget. So probably something that will go under the dash. So those will have to move anyway. So I'll probably just take the cables out and paint those mounting brackets just in case I reuse them. But now I got to think about whether I should paint the top of the dash or not. Let me get this apart and see what I think. The one thing I didn't mention, ignition switch. I'm going to put obviously a new ignition switch in there, and I have one on order, and I'm hoping it'll be here by end of day because I need to know if I have to modify this hole at all for it to fit. All right, decision has been made. Going to paint the top of the dash. So I filled in the holes that were in there, welded them up. Whew, it is some hours later, and I think I am caught up to the point where tomorrow will be flake day. I just had to make sure I got everything done. So I really didn't record a whole lot more after spraying the dash. It's just been making sure I got things done. So I just did a little bit of extra masking, but this is going to get pushed outside tomorrow, and then I'll do the rest of the masking. I forgot to even mention, after I put the seats in last time, I repaired that center piece there. I put down single-sided like weather stripping tape, so it's like glued to the bottom of the floor, and then that seals up the cover when you put it on. So I welded up all the holes that were in that. Finished welding the braces for the rears of the seats. That's all done. So this is ready in here for flake. I took the door panels off. I'm going to spray those separately. I'll have the doors open tomorrow when I spray to keep overspray off of them, because flake goes everywhere. And obviously I'll do more masking. The steering column, I sprayed it black, and I sprayed the steering wheel black for now. I don't know what steering wheel I'm going to use. This one's really in bad shape. I mean, it's got a lot of cracks in it. I could spend a lot of time with, you know, epoxy type repair and fix this, but I don't know. I'm not sure. I mean, I'll spray it now because it's no big deal, just so I have it in a steering wheel in the truck, but I'm not sure. I'm actually going to a swap meet in a couple days, first one of the fall. So I'm going to see if I see anything interesting there as far as steering wheels. It's got to fit the truck. You know, I don't know. I have like the what do I have? I have like there's a like three spoke steering wheel like that, like I put on the Hudson, that kind of stuff. You know, maybe something like that. The original's hanging up there. I don't think I'm going to use that. That's not going to go. So, got to find a steering wheel, I think. But tomorrow, all this paint will be dry for sure, and it'll be time to spray some flake. So, I'm going to wind it down for the day, and we'll see you tomorrow. All right, it's the next day, and we are almost ready to shoot some flake. But today is the day, for sure. My problem is my ignition switch is in the mail, supposed to be delivered today, and I really want to make sure that's going to fit the dash before I paint it, because if the hole is too small, I got to open it up. If it's too big, I got to figure out if I'm going to weld it. Maybe I'll just end up jamming a washer behind the switch if that's the case. I don't know, but I really want to check. But here's my junk that I'm working with today, and it's like bottom of the barrel. For shooting the flake, which we have here, I'm going to mix this in some clear coat. Now, the clear I'm going to use for this is old, and I only have, I think, enough to maybe to do a quart. It's so old that there's no label on it anymore, but there's something in there, so I'm going to use it. And here's the ancient reducer that was for it, and the ancient activator, which still has something in it. So we're going to see how it works out. You know, this stuff's only good for like, I don't know, 8 hours after you open it. I think I opened this about 20 years ago. Here's the painting station. We have the steering column ready to go, and my door panels, and the lower steering column. And then out here, we have the truck with the obligatory use sheets for masking, and the dash, which is ready to go. And the reason I didn't take the button off the glove box is because I want to open the glove box and spray the dash behind it, and then close it and spray it again. And without the button, it won't stay closed. So I think that's the best way to do it. We'll see how it works out. But I think that's good enough. Floor is covered with a sheet. Don't care if flake gets on it, but it's just something else to keep the firewall from getting totally covered, even though it'll be redone later. But and we got the holes blocked off as well from the inside. So, you know, nothing but the best for this one. So let's, I guess I can't, well, what time you come back, I guess I'll be checking the ignition switch, as long as it gets here in a timely manner, because today's the day. I'm painting this thing whether I get it or not. All right, it is time. The mail got here, so I've lost a couple hours today waiting for this. And it'll probably be fine and fit perfect, but you know, if you don't check, it'll be a problem. Now I gotta figure out how this box opens up because I am challenged on opening boxes. I'm gonna cut every tape seam there is. Come on. Don't care about instructions. That's what I want. And there it is. Ta-da! GM style keys. So it's not like starting a John Deere tractor. Let's go see if it fits. The biggest issue is this nut big enough to cover this hole? Okay, that fits perfectly. The only thing that's a little wonky is there's a little notch for the original ignition switch to kind of lock in. So I would have welded that up if I had more time. Ah, man, more points deducted at the car show. Screw it, we're painting it. All right, we'll live with that little notch in the firewall, or notch in the firewall, notch in the dash. Note to self, I'll look at that and remember that in the future. If there's a little locking tab, weld it up because we don't need it. And I'll measure that hole so I know that's a perfect size hole, at least for the ignition switch. So that's cool. Let me clean up these few pieces of garbage I have around here and we'll get started. All right, here we go. We got plenty of time to get this painted, at least a couple hours, and it will not take that long. So first we'll take the unknown gallon of clear, which was for a 1971 Camaro that I had and painted many years ago. Do we have enough in here to do this? I don't know. I'm gonna go with a 411 mix. I'm gonna play junior chemist because I don't know what it's supposed to be. But I'm gonna fill this up as much as it'll go on that 411 line. And oh man, we're gonna be real close to getting a full quart here, which would be good. Something just fell in there. Piece of junk. I have to get that out. I should have strained it because I can't strain it when it goes into the gun, obviously, because I'm going to have the flake in it. Guess we're just going to take our chances here. Famous last words. Get every bit, because this is done. That's going in the garbage. That's that. Then we'll throw some clear in there. So where am I? On my 411. Looks like I'm at the 6. So we're gonna go to the 6. How's that looking? Looks like it's mixing, but there's some junk in there, which is not good. Hopefully that stays in the... Dang, hold on here. I gotta strain that. Let me get another cup. All right, I should have strained that out of the can, knowing how old this stuff is and what the deal is with it. But I didn't, and that was a mistake. So now we'll just strain it into another cup. Because I don't want any self-inflicted clogging. There may be clogging from the flake once in a while, but I don't want it to clog from this. So what are we up to now? We'd make our 6. Where's our 411? Yep, 6, 6. 6, 6. Were we on 6? Oh no, we were higher than that. Excuse me. We're at 7.5. We were at 7.5. I'm on the wrong line. That's why I usually take a marker and mark where to fill to, but I didn't know how much I was going to have in this thing, so we just went with it. All right, now we got the activator. Oh my gosh, get the pliers. All right, top's off. Broke it right off, just fine, because this is the last hurrah for this stuff. There is no more after this. And somehow it worked out that I got just enough to go 411, so that's good. All right. All right, so that is the end of my 20-year-old clear paint. It's done. And it's a good thing I ran through the strainer, because there is a lot of junk in here. Next comes the best part of the whole thing. All right. My favorite part. How much flake do we put in? Oh, it's a bag in a bag. Hold on here. We've got to deal with the multiple bag system here. Yeah, I guess it would be quite a mess if it opened up in the mail. Now we're ready to go. All right. Look at that. How much flake is enough? Well, I don't know. Let's just dump some in and give it a whirl. Ooh, look at that. I love it. Close that off. Woo. Flake is the best. It is the best. I love flake. Now, how much you add is up to you. You can always add more layers, but keep in mind, the more you add in here, the better chance of clogging the tip on the gun. So like I said, I'm running a 1.7 on that Harbor Freight siphon gun. I should probably drill it some, because I think they recommend like a 2, because I'm running big flake. I mean, 15 thousandths I think is pretty much one of the bigger sizes. I don't know if it's the biggest, but it's a good size flake. Now, got my gun and my cup here. All right, got our 3/8 nuts in there. We'll try to get that all out of there. And then it's going to be time to go. Time to flake. All right, I have almost a quart in there. Hopefully that's enough. I'm gonna do the dash first to make sure I like the dash, because the steering wheel and stuff and the side panels, if they have less flake, no biggie. Dash is most important. I'm gonna put the respirator on, so I'm not gonna be talking. And I'll see if I can video some of this. This is gonna be fun. My favorite part. Whew. All right. The flake is on. And I look like I came out of a strip club. Flake goes everywhere. So I probably should have put a painting suit on. I just didn't think of it. And I should have, because now I'm pretty purple. Probably can't see it on the video because I've got most of it off, but it's, man, there's flake all over my arms. Flake goes everywhere. And I usually run an exhaust fan in there, a big one, when I'm painting in there to blow the stuff out, but I didn't want to blow right on the truck. So I've got to let it air out in there a little bit. But yeah, let me show you what we got. So I got the little light on in here, so it gives it a little bit of light, but didn't overdo it. Just gave it some shiny, and it'll be easier to see once the sun is on it. But it's got a nice, just purplish tinge. Not outrageous, not looking bass boat here, just cool. And I don't even think I'm going to clear over that. That actually flowed out nice. I'm sure it's a little bumpy because those are big pieces of flake, but for a dash, I think that's just fine. And over here, we didn't go crazy. Just gave it a nice, there goes compressor, purplish flake tinge, which is hard to see in here without light getting it. But it's there. Same thing with the column. It's all flaked. It's just on the black, it's hard to see, but it looks really good when the sun hits. I like it a lot. Yeah. All right, so that's going to be it for this one. I'm going to clean the guns out, and I actually switched guns in the middle of that because the first one I was using clogged like immediately, and that was with that 1.7 tip. So I'm going to have to drill out a gun and yeah, make it lurk a little bit with a little bigger tip, because that 15,000 flake clogged it up pretty good. The gun I switched to did much better. I had a couple times where it clogged, it just kind of shook it and it broke loose. But bigger tip is definitely the way to go when shooting flake. But it came out good. It's what I wanted once I switched guns, because the first gun wasn't working for nothing. But that's good. So I'm going to clean the guns, let this sit and just bake in the sun for at least a couple hours, get some lunch. And next video, maybe we can start moving forward on getting this engine started, because there's nothing else now weather dependent, I don't think. I think that's it. So that'll be it. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you for following along. Thank you for subscribing. Got a lot of new subscribers lately. I really appreciate it. It's awesome. Hope you're having fun like I am. So we'll see you on the next one. Later.